Okay, so these are the parts I ordered from Royal Distributing. This is the gold clutch. There's the part number from them guys. And these here saved me a lot of money. All 6 of these was like 72 bucks Canadian or 78. And these are the rock rollers from BDX Black Diamond Extreme. Okay boys, I've got a long bolt here with some big washers, and I've geared up a device that I can squeeze and open this clutch up. We are going to be installing the new spring and these rollers, so we got to get this apart so we can get at it. The next step, I've already got this squeezed, so the next step is to heat all these bolts with the torch, crack them and get them out, and then we'll let the pressure off of this and we'll have it apart. So I'll get to heating it up and we'll see you in a bit. So I got them all cracked. Next thing I'm going to do, just for something I like to do anytime I take something like this apart, is I'm going to mark it. Let's just put a mark there and a mark on this sheath. That way when I put it back together, I know I got it in the right spot. Next step is you lift this sheath off. And before you even take that sheath off, a good inspection, if your machine's together and you're wondering about this stuff, is just check out the condition on the back side of your clutch right here, because this is where it'll eat and chew the metal. I did rebuild this clutch years ago, and the bushing is still in there and still appears to be in pretty good shape yet, so lucky for that. I'll get this apart and show you the next step. So now we need to get these rollers off, and as you can see, they got that little pin there. If you flip the clutch over this way, those holes are to drive those pins back out, so you need a real small punch. Probably wouldn't recommend a screwdriver, but anyway, you got to drive those pins out, and then we'll show you the next step. So my weapon of choice for this was, I poured some ATF down the holes just to help with the corrosion, and then I used a small Allen head, Allen key, dropped her in the hole and hit it with the hammer. So I've got all 6 of the pins out. Now the next step is to actually get the rollers out. And what we're going to need to do this is we got to make a V-shaped tool and lodge it in here and pound these pins outward so we can change the rollers. As you can see, this one, that's the reason we get into the job here. This one's chewed up, and also I like to take some fine sandpaper and just, you see the mark in the helix there, I just try to sand that out of it so there's no rough spots in that for the new rollers to pound off, and it's about all you can do. So I'm going to get these rollers out and get the new ones in. Alright, so to get the other pins out, we're going to use an Allen key. We're going to jam it in here like this, and just little bumps. And as the Allen key goes straight, you'll see the pin comes out right here.
Any different?
Yep. Oh, that's too long. Something sticking. Oh, so first you top them back with your Allen key, and then you just grab it with a small pair of pliers and work it out. And then out comes your rollers. So now we have it all apart completely. Time to put it back together. New rollers are all in.
7 sides.
Pins are in.
Wait,
So the next step is going to be to put our locking pins in. So our rollers are in, the new spring is in. I've got my tool geared up to compress it, as you can see. Hold that, Lawson. I drawed this up that it's almost flush with the clutch sheath. And then you take your back sheath. And our mark is right here. And our mark is right there. So we are in action. The last step is blue thread lock, not red. And we're going to put our 9 Torex bolts back in with blue thread lock. So not too crazy on the torque on these because they are just a small long shank bolt, so they won't take a lot of abuse.
My mom would never like.
Clutch is all back together. Everything's torqued up. There's literally all I use for a tool to compress it. And, you know, put some plywood in the vise when you're going to use these things, but this is our new clutch with our new spring, which it looks like it's quite stiff, so I'll be curious to see how it actually works. But that's all there is to it. You pound your pins back in flush and we're on our way to snowmobiling. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and check out the other videos. And again, when you're doing an inspection, inspect those arches and the helix where your rollers ride. Inspect your rollers and inspect your back cushion on that back sheath is your key points. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe.